Talking about barrels, let's take a look at what we've got out here in our let's call it our rick house right now. At a barrel that originally held Henry McKenna. You can see right here, it came from Heaven Hill. Even smaller, and we call them small format barrels. The purpose of a small format barrel is you have a higher surface area for the spirit or the beer to interact with, meaning that it proceeds at a faster pace. Now this is actually where we get the idea to do the whole thing. These are very small format barrels, 2.5 gallons, really for aging your own bourbon at home. And that's what I was doing. I was buying stuff commercially and we were putting it in here. And if you could read this, this would say Evan Williams plus vanilla and some cocoa nibs. I actually put vanilla and cocoa nibs in it. And then we went with Lucy Lou. The third turn was Lucy Lou. First turn was, looks like Barrel 42 beer. Then we went with Evan Williams. Then we went with Lucy Lou. Then we went back to Evan Williams. And we were doing this just for our own use. This is before I got into the business and got legal. We were just drinking this. We weren't selling it. So I've just written the dates that we've done stuff. So you can see here, we refilled this. This is where the special reserve batch actually came from. Okay, so now we've taken a look at the barrels and you've seen what we're doing out there. So I wanted to just bring it back to what it's all about. It's all about both adding flavor to these products that we're bringing in here already pre-aged, and they're already really good products. In fact, this next batch of barrels that are going to be in early next week, we might actually bottle some straight out of the barrel before we even secondary age it. We're just going to see what, see if the profile is what it was when we did the tasting. But primarily our goal here is to use these beer barrels with all these different flavors that we're picking up from this caramels and the smoke and the vanillas and just all the different flavors that come out of these dark beers and have been then secondary aged for months, years actually. We're trying to impart a little bit of that into these spirits by doing one final aging in these barrels. So what we're going to look at today, I've got a bottle of the batch 6, which is our normal batch 6. Now this batch 6 was aged 100 days and it was in the Marzen barrel. So Marzen, of course, is a very unique beer with all of its German malts and we use some English malts in it. So these are very distinctive malts, and they bring out a lot of different flavors, coffee and vanillas, and of course caramel as always. So let's just take a look here and see what we've got. You can see the product. This is batch 6. Good clarity. It's got a really nice nose on it. It's really nice mouthfeel, and it comes in very smooth. Then it's got a nice, really spicy, but long and spicy, warm finish. Now, batch 6 is much different than batch, it would have been batch 1 or 2, batch 2. So because it's been aged for much longer. And then we came back around to that barrel and picked it up again after an additional 50 days. And there's actually a little bit more in that barrel yet. So there'll be some that's aged maybe 150 days or something like that. But this is a really nice bourbon. It's the high rye, 114 proof. And it gives you that nice spiciness down in here, you know, and it's just a nice warm feel. Which is a thing that some people don't like about ryes, but once you kind of get into that and you start enjoying that, it's hard to get away from it. So now let's compare that to this one. This is the special reserve, also batch 6, but it's a special reserve because it came out of that little baby barrel, the 2.5 gallon, very small format barrel that I showed you. I'm going to put a little in here. Let's take a look at it. Trying to keep me from drinking here. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of visual difference, but nose is a little different. It's still a very aromatic nose, but obviously we don't have the caramel or the Marzen flavors and aromas coming out. But this baby barrel you saw, I think I showed you there, it's got all kind of different, its history is fairly long, and a lot of different products have been in and out of that barrel, and we just keep reseasoning it. So there's a lot of things that could be in this wood that have been imparted into this bourbon. Now this bourbon was in this for 115 days. 15 days longer than batch 6. But a whole different barrel, and because it's a 2.5 gallon barrel versus a 53 gallon barrel, the surface area, the amount of contact with the surface area, so much greater that you get things happening much faster. So there's people that will estimate how that compares, what this would compare to in a 53, but in reality it doesn't really matter, because it all comes down to what it does and if you like it or not, and if the flavor profile is what you want. Mouthfeel is also nice, maybe even a little bit better mouthfeel. Also enters even smoother, I think, than the 6. It's kind of taken a little, it's mellowed out the entry a little bit. Definitely mellowed out the end spiciness. Spiciness is still there, but much more nuanced. For someone maybe who is not really accustomed to the rye finish, probably a really nice way to drink this. Unfortunately, we only have a few bottles, and there's only a few bottles left out there, and then I like it, so I've been sampling a little bit here. But anyway, there will be a couple bottles available at least on this weekend, although you won't see this till Sunday, so that won't really matter. They may be gone by the time you see this. But we're going to continue to do this. In fact, hopefully if my Amburana barrel gets out of customs in Campinas, Brazil, then maybe we'll actually have an Amburana barrel, which would be super cool.